Hey guys, I saw this video about getting rich, and I literally just had a conversation earlier today with someone's dad and was talking about the younger generation, how they feel about money. So let's watch this video.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you clicked on this video,
His name is Colin the Chad, bro. How could this not be?
chances are you want to become rich. Now, for most of our life, we're being told that we need to go to school, get a degree.
So this is something that I've noticed a lot with young people, especially. So I wanted when I was younger to make money so that I could do things that I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to own the guitar amplifiers that I wanted to own. I wanted to be able to tour the country playing music. I wanted to be able to record in the best studios, and all that stuff costs an enormous amount of money. And over the years and over my lifetime, I've developed more and more hobbies and more things that I want to do, and all that stuff costs money. So the reason that I want money is to further my life in my process of doing things and getting 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 myself fulfilled, I guess you would say, to be able to play the pay to win game and be able to do the things that other people get to do because they have more financial prowess than me. And that's why I've wanted to get money. And young people seem like they want to get money to the ends of getting money. They just want to be rich. They need a Bugatti, and they need to live in a mansion, and they need all of these super wealthy, important things to them. And that's such an odd and foreign concept to me that I'm still trying to deal with. It's a desire for money without any notion of what you're going to do with that money when you get it other than spend it.
Get a job, and maybe wait another 10 years to become rich. But it's actually much easier than that. For most people,
Oh, I can tell this is going to be a good video, and by good, I mean stupid.
you want to be rich for 3 reasons: to get freedom from a job you hate, to gain status and respect.
It might not be. I should give it. I don't know where he's going to go with this yet. So let's see what the reason that people want to
You
get
want to
rich
be
for.
rich for 3 reasons: to get freedom from a job
Freedom
you hate,
from a job,
to
I
gain
agree with that.
status and respect,
That's
and to buy
dumb.
whatever you want.
Okay, so here we go. Without needing to ask, I think that a lot of this sort of I want to be independently wealthy, and I'm going to trade cryptocurrency, and I'm going to do drop shipping, and I'm going to buy these guides on how to do it. A lot of this comes from this concept, I think, of having a lot of times wealthier parents. And the idea is your parents didn't actually have to work that hard to get their wealth. And here's the secrets for how you can do it so that you don't have to ask daddy to buy you your things anymore. And for a lot of us people who are sort of on the lower rungs of society, the people who grew up in working class families who were latchkey kids and came home after school and let themselves in because their mom was at work and their dad was at work. I stepped out of my case. We know that a lot of this is BS, right? We've been working plenty hard our entire lives. We've been out here grinding since we were 14, 15, at whatever job would take us. We've understood how money comes and goes. We have a lot of experience with it. And so this stuff sort of seems like BS to us. A lot of these get-rich-quick schemes, we know that that's not a real thing, because if it was, everyone would be doing it, just like those pills you get at the gas station.
Without needing to ask. Well, you've come to the right spot. If you're new here, my name is Colin, and I'm a student at Yale University studying computer science. And in this video,
Okay, so I'm confused as to why he has the intro of you don't have to go to school, blah, 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 if he's a student at Yale University. And also, Yale is a really hard school to get
I'll
into.
show you the 3 simple habits that'll make you so rich that you question the meaning of making money. So the first habit is reading books. Now, you can read another stupid cat book if you're on a low.
Yeah, man, don't you know that you get paid per the word that you read? This is a Warren Buffett quote of the more you learn, the more you earn. And I do agree with that 100%. But the idea, who was that guy? Ty Lopez really pushed this concept of he reads so many books every single day because that's how he makes all of his money, is by reading books. And it is true, reading books can help you understand the world around you, and learning is a great pathway to being able to make more money, because learning teaches you a whole bunch of ways that you can be valuable to the people around you, and the best way to earn money is to be valuable to the people around you. If the people around you have excess income and they need things done, and you can do basically anything that they need done, they will pay you to do those things. And the more people you can get around, the more people who are going to be willing to give you money to do things. And if you increase your skill set to be more and more valuable, then you can earn more amounts of money, because the market is much more fruitful for you, because there's not as much competition. Sorry, I've been outside all day long
lower your IQ.
Bear with me.
But if you want to get rich, I would strongly recommend reading books about business and psychology. Reading books is the fastest way to become rich because you're literally getting years of money wisdom in just a couple pages. And
No, I wouldn't say it's the fastest way to getting rich. The fastest way to getting rich is to be born into wealth, obviously. Reading books is really good, and business and psychology are very interesting things. There is a lot of very useful information in there. The ability to make people like you is almost completely a psychological trick. You just replicate someone's body language and repeat the last 3 or 4 things that they said in a questioning format. So someone tells you, yeah, I was at work the other day and John came up to me and he told me I was stupid. And you go, he told you he was stupid, in whatever their body language looks like as well. And they go, yeah, can you believe? And that's how you make people like you. That one's pretty easy. The business thing is complicated, right? Like, you have to be able to parse through other people's intelligence and see if they actually know what they're talking about. And you sort of can only filter out what is nonsense and what's not by doing business a lot and getting out there and having experience yourself.
become rich in your mind long before you become rich in your bank account. That's why reading books are so important. So if you're just getting started, I would highly recommend reading a book a month, just 10 minutes a day before bed.
It is an interesting thing to get rich in your mind. I'm not a big believer in the notion of manifesting. I don't think that that's real. I think that anyone who is rich and famous will tell you that they pictured it in their mind a lot. But we all picture it in our mind a lot, and most of us don't become rich and famous. We all can see ourselves being something bigger than what we are currently because we have role models who have done that already, and so we can see what that would be like. But just being able to see it does not put you there. You have to have a plan, you have to have goals, and you have to move towards those goals using that plan, and that's how you get to where you're going.
So what book should I read? The first book you want to read is The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. This book will teach you about lifestyle design, on how to work less and make more money. The second book you want to read is The Psychology of Money.
I don't know if it's true that you can work less and make more money. I think that the work that I do that pays me is a very small portion of my work week. That I have kind of a different, I make money in a different way than a lot of people. I run a small business and I do odd jobs for people as well. And that's how I make the wealth, or the majority of my income. Now, I fill up the rest of my week with an insane amount of work, and people would probably be shocked and astounded by what I do with all of my free time. I'm constantly trying to think of new projects to do, where we have a new project ongoing right now that has nothing to do with this YouTube channel. I'm coming up with new products for the business. I'm trying to find new lines of income constantly. I'm looking for opportunities that I haven't checked in on before. I'm watching videos that are educational. I'm doing a lot of things to sort of further myself. I'm doing schoolwork and studying and just lots of things that are, I would consider to be work. They drain me. They take effort from me to do. I have resistance to doing them. I have to put in that time to do it. I also work out, but like, that's not work. That's just a part of life. And I don't think that as you make more money that you work less. I think that that you might find ways to get the amount of time you have to put into the thing that makes you money, which is very often the thing that you want to do the least. You figure out how to make that a smaller section of your work week, but you just fill up that time with other stuff.
By Morgan Housel. This book will teach you the common mistakes we make when thinking about money. Now, the third book you want to read is The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. This book is like a full guide on how to become wealthy and how to use leverage online to get rich. The fourth book you want to read.
People believe that they're going to sit in front of a computer and get rich doing it. And while at some point in your life, you might have some kind of income that is driven by you being in front of a computer. But I'm telling you right now that if you've never done anything in your life and you think that by making an affiliate marketing website, you're going to get rich, you're not going to, because you don't know how to design a good affiliate marketing website. You don't know how to reach a market of people. You don't know how to set up deals because you don't have connections yet. You don't know what fonts look good. You're not going to spend 100 hours in front of a computer and be rich at the end of that 100 hours. And that's what a lot of people think that they're getting when they're being told that they should do affiliate marketing or drop shipping or whatever. They think it's going to be something that they grind at for 6 months and then it's going to pay off in exceptional dividends. If it was like that, everybody would do it. And I think a lot of you who are probably going to watch this video know that that's true, but there's so many people out there that just believe that it takes no skill whatsoever in order to make copious amounts of money. And at least from my personal experience, all I can tell you is that the more skills I have learned, the better I have gotten at being me and applying myself to a new situation. That's how I found more income. It hasn't come easily. It has been a ton of work, and it has been a grind that I can't even put into words for you. It's like I had to work a whole bunch of dead-end jobs to understand what I was, and before I did that, nothing I would have done would have been successful. Nothing. It wouldn't have mattered. I could have had $1 billion idea, and I wouldn't have known what to do with it, and I would have squandered it.
Is $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozi, possibly one of the best books on sales and marketing. If you want to learn to make an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no to, this book is for you. Now, the last book you want to read is $1 Million Weekend by Noah Kagan. This is a relatively new book that talks about how to build an online business step by step. All these 5 books are books that I've personally read and I think are definitely must-reads.
I would be interested in reading some of these books, and I have a few Audible credits, and I might pick some of them up just to see what they're like. The $1 Million Weekend, 100 Million Offers. I am interested in sales. I've done a lot of sales over the course of my lifetime. Running a small business and making actual products means that you have to do sales. It's not something I was ever interested in. I always found it very uncomfortable to try to push something on somebody that they didn't want. But honestly, the biggest trick that I've learned is to just kind of convince yourself that people do actually want what you're selling, and then it sort of comes natural. Because a lot of times they do. I make these, let me just show you, hold on. Let me pull up a tab. Don't worry about it. Artisan Bath Co. Let's just go to the Etsy. But, okay, so here we are. Sorry, I don't know how to navigate Etsy, which is comical. Yeah, so we make these. These are soaps in the shape of a dragon egg. They have a full set of dice inside of them, so everything from a D4 all the way up to a D20. These are a huge product for us. They sell extremely well, and a lot of our sales that we do are wholesale to card shops. And this means that you have to end up calling lots and lots of card shops and telling them that, you know, you have this product for them. And they do want it because dice don't have good margins on them. You buy dice for $1 and you sell them for $4, but you buy these for us for a price. I'm not going to tell you the wholesale price, and you sell them for a much larger margin than $3. So it's sort of a no-brainer for people. It's a much easier sell, not only to people who already want to buy dice, but a lot of people already have plenty of dice, and this is sort of a novelty item. You get this, you can give it as a gift, you hand it out in your game, you buy it for the person who likes tabletop games for Christmas, because sometimes it's really difficult to buy them gifts, but everybody likes dice, and it's sort of a no-brainer. So this is a product that I actually believe that people want, so it makes it really easy to sell it to them.
If you want to become rich, and if you read a book a month, which is very doable and easy, you can easily gain all this money wisdom in less than 6 months. And by reading more books on money, you'll be smarter than most business people.
And money is kind of simple at the end of the day. The real difficult thing is being able to get your hands on it. Meeting people who you can convince to give you money is a difficult thing, and when you're starting a business, that's going to be your biggest barrier to entry, is getting your foot in the door with new people who you've never met before, learning how to be at an event if you have products, and putting it in their hands and making them hand you money. A lot of people try to sell to their friends and family, and that's the worst thing to do because you can only coast off the the kindness of your friends and family for so long. You really have to figure out how to get strangers to give you money. But that is a sort of a difficult thing to do. But once you get over that hump, the money thing is easy. It's easy to do it right, man. Get yourself an emergency fund of 6 months. We've all heard this before. Get out of debt, pay it all down. Credit cards just take a negative 20% out of whatever you spend on them. It's not a good way to spend your money unless you're paying it off completely every single month. Stop paying interest on things. Keep as much money of your money as possible. The problem is that in the modern economy, things cost so much that a lot of those things are now out of people's reach, and now it's super difficult to make money, because when people in the economy have less money, they can spend less of that money on the things that you have. So you're seeing people who do things like dance classes, who do things like music classes, who do things like selling goods like we sell. They're having a bigger problem now because it's harder to get people to part with those dollars in order because they have to save that money in order to pay for things, to pay for food, to pay for their expenses, which are going up. And so that makes it harder to get a hold of the money.
People who take 10 years to learn that same wisdom. Now, the second habit that'll make you rich is watching podcasts and videos.
Isn't that convenient, dude? The thing that will make you rich is watching more of his videos, bro. How incredible. Colin the Chad out here, staying true to his name.
I'm not talking about watching pointless, try not to laugh videos that lower your IQ. I'm talking about watching videos.
You can't, IQ doesn't lower. That's not what happens. It does over time, but it's a quotient. It's a test that shows how quickly you can think. You don't you don't get dumber and you lose IQ. That's not,
They'll help you make more money. So some specific videos I'd recommend watching are How to Get Rich Without Getting Lucky by Naval, Reprogram Your Mind to Be Rich in 22 Minutes by Alex Hormozi, How Billionaires Think by Sam Ovens, The One Person Business Model.
This is another thing that I think is really interesting about people is everyone wants to be a billionaire, but I don't necessarily think that billionaires are always the happiest people in the world. I don't think that extremely wealthy people are the happiest people in the world. I think that usually they're kind of mentally ill. They're manic individuals who have this insane drive inside of them to consume more and more and more and more, and they like watching that number go up a lot, and they can become very obsessive, and those things can be a lot of problems. There's a lot of really rich people, and I've heard this from Jerry Seinfeld when he was talking about his rich friends, about how the only ones of them that are healthy are the ones that have a system in place for every single thing that they do, and all of the other ones are just these almost would seem to you as drug addicts because of how much they're just obsessed with this one singular purpose, which is to make more and more money. And everything else in their life is in complete disarray. Their relationships fall apart. They're smoking cigarettes constantly. They're drinking nothing but black coffee and just not ever exercising, not ever eating any food, just absolutely obsessed with one thing, and they'll do anything to get there.
Model by Dan Coe. And this isn't fun, but it makes me 2K an hour by Alex Becker. Now, you don't want to just be watching these videos passively. You want to be actively writing notes on a Google Doc or on your notebook. Go and watch those 5 videos as a starting point.
This is such a coded video. There is so much information here. I know because I spend a lot of time doing research on these types of people, on Alex Hormozi and just people, Andrew Tate, these kinds of people who promise the world to young men. These are things, writing in a Google Doc, having a notebook always, these are things that are coded language that are built into this sort of cult. This cult of get out there and grind, spend all of your time making money, nothing else is important, blah, blah, blah. You buy a car so you can write it off on your taxes, which has a whole bunch of flaws in it. That's not how money works. But it's very interesting the way that this is a video that is deep into this whole cult, and he is capitalizing on the people who are in that cult in order to build up his following. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but I just hate it for people that they're out there thinking that they are finding these secrets to life when actually they're being monetized for the people like this.
And I guarantee that it'll change the way you think about money. And after you're done with them, you can go and watch other videos like interviews with CEOs and millionaires.
And he's not wrong, That's the thing that frustrates me the most. It does change the way you think about money. It does make you view and understand things in a different way. Like that classic concept of if you buy a horse for $800 and you sell it for $900, and then you buy a horse for $1,200 and you sell it for $1,300, how much money did you make? Well, you made $200. But not really, though, because you spent more money than you made. And it's such an interesting thing because it leaves out so many variables and ideas that are actually helpful about how to pitch, how to make this money in the first place. How do you buy that horse for $800 if you don't have $800? That's the real question that people want to know the answer to, and that's always obscured in this culture. How did I get rich before I was rich? How did I afford to open that gym? Well, that's a much more complicated question that a lot of these people don't want to answer because they realize that it's a thing that is much less attainable for the everyday person. But the only way that they're going to continue to make insane amounts of money is by convincing the everyday person that it's just something you do.
Like, even when I'm in the gym, most of the time I listen to house or EDM music. But sometimes I like listening to a podcast where I'm just writing notes in between sets. So you want to be writing your ideas down, because if not, you'll probably forget them.
Burnout. Burnout fast track. Do 4 things at the same time and make it feel like every single time you go to the gym, you have to be listening to podcasts and writing down notes. Easy way to burn out. Easy way to make you feel like things are too difficult because your brain sees it as being this incredible task to go to the gym. Not only do you have to work out and push yourself really hard, now you have to, in between your sets when you're supposed to be breathing and trying to catch your breath and resting and getting you have to be listening to your podcast and taking notes, and then put it back on pause, do your set, come back up, take it off pause, take more notes. It just seems there's an intensity that you can't bring to everything. And I know that they would tell you that you can, but I haven't found that to be true.
In the next hour. Now, some other YouTubers, they'll help you become rich. Of course, if you want to learn about sales and marketing,
YouTubers will not help you become rich. Straight up. I'm telling you that right now. In the future, if you see me peddling something for a company, know that that is so that I can make money. It has nothing to do with you making money.
Some Alex Hormozy content. If you want to learn more about cold calling and agency building, maybe watch Charlie Morgan. And if you want to become a billionaire Sigma Chad, then there's this Asian guy I'd recommend subscribing.
Of course.
But the point is, watch more content that'll help you improve your life. Because if all you watch is videos on how to...
Okay. Earlier, he said that he was a computer science major at Yale. Let me explain to you why computer science majors always become YouTubers. And let me explain to you something that is a concept that goes over a lot of people's heads, and people want to flame me every time I bring it up. I went to school, I'm still in school, for software engineering. And that degree has taken me from a point to where I would upload videos and I would get 50 views on them every single time, no matter how much effort I put into it, no matter how many times I revised scripts, no matter how many times I did all that stuff, it would get me 50 views, guaranteed. I would stream and I would get 4 viewers. If I was really lucky, I would have around 10 viewers some days. The reason that I went from that level to and this is not even like an impressive thing, but the point that I am now, I have a video with over 10,000 views. I have a few videos with 3,000 or 4,000 views. I have some more videos with 2,000 views and some more videos with 1,000 views. The reason that I got to there is because in software engineering, you are drilled into your head how to recognize patterns. And my brain became a pattern recognition machine. And all I've done is apply that pattern recognition machine to what makes these people get the thing that I want, which at the time when I started doing this channel was views. Things are getting weird now. I don't know what's going on. I enjoy the conversation more than I do the views at this point. It's so interesting, the tangent. It's so interesting the way that as a musician, I never got random feedback. I've gotten over 800 comments over the past month. And I don't know if you guys understand what it's like to see 300 comments that are just telling you that you suck and pointing out things that you've never realized about yourself, but you go, oh, that one has a nugget of truth in it. And then seeing 500 comments of people who are telling you, you know, that they like you, except for this thing, or I like when you did this thing. That feedback almost streamlines my ability to get better at something in a way that is astounding. It's like machine learning. It's really peculiar. Anyways, the pattern recognition machine can now be placed onto anything that I want it to. And I still have to put in the effort, but now the how do I figure this out thing has been automated for me by going to school and learning those things. And there's tons of YouTubers who are computer science majors, because the human brain is just like a computer. Computers are made based off of the human brain because we made them with our brains, and the only way that we know how to think is the way that we think. So it's really easy to hack the human brain and to sort of understand the psychological aspects of patterns, which is, you know, look at these thumbnails. Look at them. They all have a certain thing going on. Can you see what it is? The thumbnail complements the video. You see the title, and then the thumbnail gives you more information about the title. And then when you actually watch the video, this isn't even a super high quality video. It's this thing. If you can get someone to click on it, they're probably going to watch some of it. So if you get them to click on it, and then you have that first 10 seconds where you have to capture their attention, and depending on what you're trying to do, you're trying to weed out the people who you want to watch your video and the people who you don't want to watch your video. And then you just have to keep them entertained the entire time that you're doing it through whatever method that you have to do it. For me, it's my ability to conversate. That's all this whole thing is. That's all this is. It's entertainment. And I'm doing my job right now.
Make money, it's almost inevitable you'll become super rich. Now the final thing you want to do to become rich is to learn skills. You want to learn skills that are evergreen and future-proof. More importantly, learn skills that match your personality. Are you creative? Then learn writing,
I
video
100%
editing,
agree with
and
this.
design. Are you charismatic? Then learn marketing, sales, or content creation. Do you like building things? Then learn programming, software, and building online stores. So when you combine your individual edge and your matching skill, you become powerful. Also,
and if you're really crazy, you just learn absolutely everything. You keep pounding that knowledge into your brain nonstop, and as you learn more and more and more, you start to be able to do everything yourself. And more importantly, you can decide who's good at the things that you need them to do. Because eventually you will run out of time. That's how life works. There's only 24 hours in a day. And eventually you will run out of time to do things yourself. But hiring people, getting other people to do the things for you, because most of the streamers aren't paying the people who do the things for them. Getting the people to do the things for you is absolutely useless if someone can't do the job. And I'm not even talking about having the skills to do it. One thing that's really, really interesting is that a lot of people can have a skill set to do something, but they still won't do that thing. And you can pay them $2,000 and they won't do it for you. And being able to recognize that they will take your money, say they're going to do the thing for you, and then not do it is a skill set all on its own. And it only comes from you knowing what it's like to do all of those things, and you sort of have to psychoanalyze someone's life in order to be able to understand whether or not they're actually going to do it. This is something I sort of learned when I was hiring people for the restaurant that I used to work at, is that people will come in and they will tell you everything you want to hear because they want that job. But you have to learn how to figure out whether or not they're actually going to do that job, because people will tell you they're going to be your best worker. They're going to be there every single day. They're going to stay as long as it takes to get the job done. They're going to be super fast in the line. I've worked in all these places before, and then you give them the job, and 2 days later, they're overdosing in the back.
So if you want to become rich, you want to learn skills that are high in demand. So for example, people are always going to need designers. So maybe
high in demand, and not many people want to do them is actually a better way to say that. Because here's the thing. It doesn't matter how in demand something is. If it becomes a super flooded field, nobody will be able to get a job in it. If there's 100,000 jobs in something, but 1 million people are applying to it, only 100,000 people can get that job. That's just how it works. There's no loophole to that. So whenever you see a video with 100 million views that tells you that going out and selling window washing is the way to go, know that that is a thing that almost anybody can do. And even though it might be an in-demand thing right now, know that there are going to be tons of people competing with you, and you're probably not going to be able to make that business work.
if you're very creative.
It's the same thing. We got lucky because the soap company that we started at a time where there were fewer people doing it. And over the years, I was 3 or 4 years into having this soap company, and I was seeing, we would go to an event and there would be 5 to 10 other soap vendors there. And over the years, there has been such an intense competition that most of them have been weeded out. But we were lucky because we got in early. Our brand recognition was good. Our products were unique. We had ideas that got us to where we are now, and in a situation where it can support us. Most people weren't that lucky. Most people folded their businesses and had to move on to something else. So you have to be really, really careful about what you choose to do in life, because you can end up wasting a ton of time by not realizing that, hey, this is a market that a lot of people want to be in. This is really popular right now. And so I'm going to get in there too. That's such a problematic thing that you can do to yourself.
You can create a thumbnail agency design service for YouTubers. Or maybe you want to master the skill of...
Maybe you can make a thumbnail agency design service.
Creating aesthetic websites. Having specialized knowledge can also make you lots of money. For example, if you know a lot about fitness and aesthetics, then people will literally pay you for the information you have. Or maybe all you have.
That is super true. If you are an absolutely ripped person who has a physique that people are just so unbelievably into, and you can talk really well, you can probably make a living on the internet. I will agree with that. It seems like but that's a hard thing to achieve.
Is good taste. You have zero technical skills. Guess what? You can still make money. Rick Rubin is one of the richest producers of all time, and he doesn't really know how to make music, but he has taste. So they're literally
Yes. But having good taste is not something that you can really train. No matter how much you go and tell yourself that this music is good, and I know it's good because all these other people agree that it's good, no matter how much you like Deaf Heaven because you've been told that you like Deaf Heaven, if you're someone who didn't initially like that as a gut feeling when you heard it, then it doesn't matter because music, videos, design work, websites are all about the next thing. And if you can't recognize what the next thing is going to be, and that's an innate skill that you just sort of have because you have personally good taste in things, then it doesn't matter how much you try to train your good taste. They're not going to get better.
unlimited opportunities and ways that you can make
You can
money.
like
Now, what
better
about investing?
things
What
because
about
you know that you're supposed to, and you can understand why you're supposed to like them. But it's a gut thing, man. It really is.
stocks or crypto? Honestly, I wouldn't even think
There's
about
a bug
investing
on
in
the wall up
stocks
there.
or crypto unless I already have a solid
wanna get 'em
skill
and put 'em
that makes
outside
me
real bad,
lots
but
of
I'm
money.
busy.
If all you have is $200 in a bank account and you expect that you're going to be a millionaire investing it in crypto, forget it. Yes, it's nice to start the habit of investing, but don't expect to become a millionaire when you don't even have much capital to begin with. So focus on learning those high income skills first. So I hope you guys got lots of value from this video. If you guys want more,
Bro, this is just the fucking thing, dude. I don't see how videos like this are valuable to anybody. I don't understand. Like, maybe if this is the first one of these you've heard, perhaps. But this is just regurgitated information that other people have told you a million times. Do you really need to hear this information again? Why does this video have 128,000 views? Well, because he has 281,000 subscribers. Why? Because he's marketing to a cult of people who believe that the more of these videos they watch, the better off they're going to be, and he's taking advantage of that situation. And that only happens when you prioritize making money over absolutely everything else. And it's hard for me to get behind that concept. I don't want more cookie cutter nonsense content. I want interesting things that I can click on and watch, and it's so frustrating. The reason I started making videos, if I'm being real honest this time, is because I ran out of videos to watch on YouTube. I hit the bottom of the internet, guys. I had been on here so much that I'm like, I don't want to listen to any more podcasts. I don't want to watch any more videos. I don't want to sit here and consume all this regurgitated information. I am fiending for good content to come out, and it just doesn't happen. We're in an incredible content drought currently. It's rare that somebody has a concept that they can completely deliver on that is something that I haven't heard before at this point, and it sucks. That's why when a new episode of Steak and Eggs comes out, I freaking click on it. That's why when I don't know if you guys know who this guy is. I'm gonna put y'all on real quick, okay? Hold on. Let's go to another YouTube page. Yeah, I know. I was making a comment video. Mikey Chen. If you guys don't know who Mike Chen is and you're remotely interested in food or travel, you should be watching Mike Chen. Every time he puts out a video, it is an absolute banger. This dude makes incredible content, and he's one of the few people on the internet who actually make good food content. Do you really need some random person on TikTok to sit there and show you them eating food from Walmart? Do you really need that with absolutely no personality, and everything they eat, they're like, this is so good. This is really tasty. Yeah, dude, cool vocabulary. Like, it's a thing that hacks into our brains and lets them get views. Anyone can do that, and especially if you're someone who has a good look about you and does all these things, we want to watch people eat food because we want to be eating that food, but a lot of us know that we can't eat that food because we're going to wake up in the middle of the night with heartburn, and we're not going to be able to go back to sleep. So instead, we watch other people sacrifice for us. But like, is it actually adding any value to your life? Is it actually adding any value to your life to watch a video like this and then go, oh man, I never thought about the fact that, like, if I read books, I would learn something before. Maybe you are that person, and maybe this specific video is going to help you, but, like, dude, what are we doing out here? Am I crazy? Am I absolutely off the deep end? I'm going to give it a like because I always tell people to like the video. I'm literally, making a video around this video, so I feel like I should. But, like, dude, what's the deal with all of this? Like, people say, make original content. Buddy, what original content is there left to be made except for me talking about my stories and my life? It's done, bro. We understand the money thing. The problem is that the wealth is being aggregated amongst very few people, that the system is set up to destroy us, and that, like, there's really no answer to it. People go, oh, yeah, there is actually. It's called communism. Bro, what do you... An answer means something that will actually be done to solve the problem. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm off the deep end here. Maybe I'm absolutely losing it, but it just doesn't seem... The financial stuff is just a goof troop thing to me. These kids out here thinking that they're making money by being recklessly in debt and doing a whole bunch of stuff that is fad trend business. It's not going to do anything for you unless you're going to come up with the personal computer in the 1980s or whatever the equivalent of that is now. 1970s? When was Apple? When did Apple make the Apple II? Hold on. Can't type. 1976. In the 1970s, or whatever the modern equivalent of that is, I just don't even know what we're talking about here. You are peddling stuff that mostly nobody needs, and unless you've come up with a great idea, you're going to be scraping for funds constantly to try to break out into some field that is going to have a hotspot luck streak. And that's literally all we're doing out here now. Sorry, guys. I don't know why this video is such a downer, but it triggered me how this is just the most formulaic cookie cutter. Like, I'm sorry. I don't think that a video like this is more valuable than a react video or anything. I don't see it. I don't see how taking a formula that you can watch from any other video, that you can watch Dave Ramsey and he'll tell you this same shit, that you can watch Alex Ramosi and he'll say this exact same thing, that you can watch Andrew Tate and he'll tell you this. I don't get it, man. I just don't. I don't.